If you're subscribed to Chat Sports, I want you to throw Noti Gang down below because you're one of the first people to watch. However, if you're one of the 77, or I guess part of the 77% who aren't subbed, here at Chat Sports, we're a family, and I want you to join that family. So please hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications. I promise you, you're going to have a good time watching our videos. Let's get bold here on today's show. Mitchell Renz, and you are watching NFL Daily. Coming up here, I'm getting a little ballsy, okay? We're going to do 6 bold trade predictions before training camp, and a lot of these players are big-name guys, some quarterbacks, some big-name receivers out there, and I'm trying to get bold, so please keep that in mind. Let's go to the first guy who I have here as a trade candidate, and it's Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. And the reason why he makes today's video is because there was a report that came out that Hurts hasn't looked good this offseason, especially during the OTAs. I will say this, that newly acquired wide receiver A.J. Brown has defended his quarterback, saying this simply isn't true. But I also know this, that Howie Roseman is one of the most aggressive general managers in all of sports, not just the NFL, and the Eagles have been actively looking for a quarterback for essentially the past 2 seasons. So, you have Jalen Hurts, who last season threw for 3,144 yards, 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. However, when you think of Hurts, you don't really think of his arm ability, and to see this offense move and succeed, I do think it needs to be through the air with all the talent they have at wide receiver. Hurts, though, he's been able to do it with his legs, and he is a phenomenal fantasy football option, having 10 rushing touchdowns, picking up 56 first downs with his legs, 78 rushing yards. But for the sake of this video, I'm not only going to tell you trade candidates, I'm also going to give you trade ideas. So the first trade coming in here, and I'm just going to tell people, just sit and wait. Just sit and wait, okay? Because Jalen Hurts for a third-round pick, I actually don't think is enough. But I do think that sometimes NFL teams talk to each other to try to figure it out. And the reason why I have Hurts going to the Houston Texans, he grew up in Houston. From what I understand, he's a Texans fan. And Philadelphia, they can recoup some picks, which then they could potentially use to go out and get another quarterback. So after the Eagles trade for Jalen Hurts, I believe that they could then pick up the phone, which at this point, you've probably already had a conversation or two, and you pick up the phone, you call the 49ers, and you say, I want Jimmy Garoppolo. At this point, if the 49ers can get a deal for a third-round pick for Jimmy G, I think you take it. And the reason why I bring that up is because look at what Baker Mayfield's deal was. Wasn't much. In fact, it was literally like nothing. So if you can get a third-round pick for Jimmy G, I think you take it. So essentially, what I decided to cook up here as our first realistic trade is a 3-way trade. The Houston Texans, they get Jalen Hurts. The Philadelphia Eagles, they get Jimmy Garoppolo. The 49ers get a third-round pick. So the third-round pick essentially just ends up coming from Houston, who just has a crap load of picks at this point. The Eagles got a quarterback that can throw the football better than Hurts and potentially use some of these new weapons that you have. But you know what I'm going to do? It's Chat Sports. I'm going to ask you, who won the trade? If you believe that the Houston Texans win this deal, type HOU. If you think the Philadelphia Eagles win the deal, type PHI. If you're going to go with the San Francisco 49ers, please let me know down in the comments right now by typing SF. The next trade idea here is going to be around running back for the Cleveland Browns, Kareem Hunt. And the Browns have been looking to trade Hunt. They don't necessarily need to, but if you can save $6.25 million, I think personally as an NFL team for a running back that he's your second best guy, I think you look to do it. The other reason is you got plenty of depth in Cleveland. You got the Ernest Johnson, who I can make an argument is probably the best RB3 on any single NFL roster. But you also gave a lot of money to Nick Chubb. Now, has Nick Chubb had some injury issues? Yes, he has. He's also your number one running back. And if you're hoping that, well, you're going to try to move the football through the air a little bit more with Deshaun Watson, which is a whole nother discussion. But Kareem Hunt, to me, is another player to at least keep in mind. So where do I think Kareem Hunt's going to go? Well, how about this? You got to wait 1 second because I got a deal for y'all. Go to chatsports.com/NFL shirt combo where you can get your favorite NFL team and you can get this deal. I'm not going to tell you how much money you save. Well, actually, how about this? I will tell you. You'll save $20 if you take advantage of this deal right now. $20 for 2 t-shirts you're saving. That's pretty good, and they are high-quality t-shirts. So all you got to do is go to the link that you see below, chatsports.com/NFL shirt combo. Get yourself set up. I mean, for me, if I can already save a few bucks and then store this away for Santa in a few months, I'm going to try to do that. All we're trying to do, y'all, is hook you up with a great deal. So let's go to this next trade idea. I got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers getting Kareem Hunt. You need a pass-catching back for Tom Brady. You're also going to get a 6th-round pick. Cleveland gets a 3rd-round pick in 2023. So who wins this deal? If you think it's the Buccaneers type TB, if you think it's the Browns type CLE. Now, a lot of y'all are probably like, well, wait a minute. The Buccaneers have a running back. They gave Leonard Fournette a 3-year, $21 million deal. And I would say, you know what, you're right. Here's the thing, though. Have you seen Leonard Fournette recently? My guy, he's put some money in his pocket, and he's also put a few LBs on. I don't know if you're going to turn into a situation where you get into a Eddie Lacy, a.k.a. feast mode, but what happens if Leonard just doesn't get back into shape? What happens if he's slow? If you're Tom Brady, you don't have many years left to waste. So get a running back that you could rely on, and realistically, I would take Kareem Hunt over Leonard Fournette every single day of the week. Let's go to the next trade idea here. It's going to be around Carolina Panthers wide receiver Robby Anderson. And Robby Anderson made it pretty obvious that he did not want Carolina to trade for Baker Mayfield. Fast forward to a month or two later, Carolina Panthers, they traded for Baker Mayfield. If you didn't know that, you definitely need to subscribe because you have missed a lot, my man, and I don't want you to miss anything more. Hell, he was pretty vocal about it on social media. I mean, this was literally a post on Baker going to Carolina, and this is his IG handle, which we have circled here. He's just, no. Now, maybe he was defending his quarterback, Sam Darnold, which I can make an argument for, but he didn't do this just once. He's did this on multiple things regarding Mayfield to Carolina, and some people might be able to say, he was just kidding. Is anybody out there think that Mayfield is mature enough to think that this was a joke? My answer to that would be no. So, how about this? We just ship Robby Anderson out, and since we just traded away Jimmy Garoppolo, not saying that Trey Lance isn't a good quarterback, but Sam Darnold could be a halfway decent backup, and if I'm Darnold, I'd rather be a backup out in the West Coast where I grew up and where I went to college at USC instead of on the East Coast where I'm not near any of my friends or family. So this is a big one. You got Deebo Samuel, who played college football at South Carolina, who grew up in the Carolinas in general. You send him to Carolina. The 49ers get Robby Anderson, Sam Darnold, and a 1st-round pick in 2024. I will say this is probably my favorite trade out of them all. So what do you think here? If this deal were to go down, if you were to get a notification on your phone that Chat Sports is going live, breaking down this trade, who do you think ends up winning this deal? If you think it's Carolina, type CAR. If you think it's the 49ers, well, then go ahead and type 49ers. So this show is all about being bold. And my question to you is, do you like being bold? Like, as a person, do you like having takes and you're not afraid to speak your mind? If you're saying, yes, I like being bold, I am allowed to be as bold as you possibly want, not only here, but over on Locals as well. Now, I do a lot of Raiders content over there, so if you're a Raiders fan, you should already join our community. But this is a special show for NFL watchers. If you want to see how I rank all 32 starting quarterbacks, go check us out at locals.com, or you can go to raidersreport.locals.com, and if you're like, yes, I do want to see that, scan this QR code right here, become a Locals community member for our channel, where I drop 2 exclusive videos every week. I go live at least once a week. I interact with the audience a lot more, and I'm allowed to be bold. Let's go to the next trade. It's another bold one. It's Tyler Lockett, and Seattle, they drafted Dwayne Eskridge in 2021, and they have believed that he's going to be, honestly, maybe potentially the next Tyler Lockett. Right now, when you look at his base salary, it's only $3 million, which should be pretty intriguing to a lot of NFL teams out there. And the fact that the next 3 years of his contract aren't guaranteed, if you're a team in win-now mode, or if you think it's a good deal, I think this would be a smart move. On top of that, yes, Seattle does have to eat some dead money by moving on from Lockett, and realistically, a trade for Tyler is probably more realistic next offseason. But if you have a team that's aggressive enough, you can make it happen. And if you're able to save $46.5 million over the next 4 years for Seattle, maybe you could invest that money in making sure DK Metcalf isn't in trade articles anymore. So what team do I know can be aggressive at times? For a wide receiver, they weren't afraid to trade for Amari Cooper. They also traded him away. It's the Dallas Cowboys. So the Cowboys get Tyler Lockett. One of the biggest needs for Seattle is corner. You ship away Anthony Brown, and you also throw in a 4th-round pick. I think it helps out both sides a little bit. So what do y'all think, y'all? Seattle, Dallas, who wins the trade? I know I asked you a lot of stuff today, but guess what? That's what Chat Sports is about. We bring the fire, we bring the energy, and I want you to do the same. So before I head out of here, here were the 8 players that were featured in the trades. Jalen Hurts goes to the Houston Texans. Jimmy Garoppolo to Philly. Kareem Hunt to Tampa Bay. Robby Anderson and Sam Darnold to the 49ers. Deebo Samuel to Carolina. Tyler Lockett to the Cowboys. Anthony Brown to Seattle. And if you made it this far in the video, shout out to all y'all. I guess we're doing something right. Make sure that we get those sub numbers up. I don't want to see no 23%. So if you are subbed, take that link below, send it to a friend, send it to a cousin, send it to a family member, to a homeless guy on the street. I don't give a crap. Let's get those numbers up. Subscribe to Chat Sports.